Hi, my name is Vi Nanthaveth. I am the owner and founder of Nanthaveth Associates. So happy to be here with you, Scott. Thank you for inviting me. We are an immigration law firm that's based out of Austin, Texas, and it is comprehensive immigration law. We focus on family immigration as well as employment-based immigration.
And I'm Scott Berry, your host for today's episode. We're going to be talking about the U visa with Vi, and let's get right to it. Okay, we're here with Vi, and we're talking about the U visa, something maybe people haven't heard about yet. We've never covered it on the episode. Vi, can you help us understand what the U visa is and how it's used?
Sure. Actually, U visa's been around for quite some time. Whenever I was a rookie attorney, way back in the day, I was the person that came in and they were like, learn about the U visa for us, and then let's help out our clients. And what it is basically is a program that has been utilized to really help the authorities like the police and prosecutors trying to solve certain crimes. So if you are a victim of a specific crime, and there are specific crimes that are stated in the U visa regulations, if you are a victim of those specific crimes, then you actually might be eligible for a U visa, which then eventually leads to getting you a green card.
So is that one of the main benefits of the U visa, is that if you do qualify, it's a path to a green card?
It's a path to a green card and eventually a path to citizenship. And this, you can include your family members as well. Husband, children under the age of 21 can be included with this, and everyone benefits.
So is there a long waiting time for something like this? Is this a quick process or a long one?
Unfortunately, it has become a much longer waiting time.
It's like I almost knew the answer to that. Right? Like we're in a situation in the United States right now to where it seems like everything is taking a long time. So you have to be patient.
Yeah, that is very true. But the thing with the U visa, though, is that they only give out 10,000 a year. 10,000, which is not a lot. And so when I first started doing this, it would only take about 6 months for this to go through, and then we can then move on to the green card application portion of it. Now it's taking 5 to 6 years just to get on the wait list.
5 to 6 years?
To get on the wait list. Oh, and then once it gets approved, then you're in U visa status. You have to be in U visa status for 3 years. They give it to you for 4. On your 3rd year, then you go in and you turn around and you file for the green card.
So this is a long period. Like, are there travel restrictions? Like, how's that going to work? Because it's a lot of years while you're waiting.
It is. That's the only thing. It definitely requires a lot of patience, unfortunately. And when you get the U visa, you are not able to use that to travel. Once you get to the green card application of it, that's where we can apply for the travel permit.
Wow, so years of no travel.
Years. You might be looking at 10 years.
But if that's your best or only path to a green card or citizenship, you don't really have a lot of choices.
Right? Exactly.
Because a lot of people don't even have a path to citizenship, so at least someone has one. So so in the meantime, what do you do? Like for 3 or 4 or 5 years while you're waiting, is it for the legal consumer? Are they just waiting?
They're just waiting. Okay. Yeah, they're just waiting patiently. And, of course, during that time, a lot can happen. So you still want to make sure, don't get in trouble with the law.
Yes.
And just kind of lay low and let this thing kind of play itself out. Be patient. That's the number one thing. Be patient. And once you get there, believe it or not, when you think about just 5 years ago. How fast that has. This is one of the things I say to my prospects and to my clients. If you filed this 5 years ago, you think about how time flies, right? So that's the thing. You never know. Time just flies.
So I know you can't speak for every attorney everywhere in the United States, but can we give our listeners just a range of what something like this costs for a legal consumer to go down this road?
I'd probably say the U visa portion of it. Now, there's no government fee associated with the U visa portion, except for a lot of the clients that do utilize or take advantage of this particular legislation. they a lot of times do have to file a waiver with it, and there is a cost with the waiver. The U visa application itself doesn't have a cost, but the waiver does. Now, you can also apply for a fee waiver of that waiver cost, and that's going to be having to show, any hardships and things like that in order to get that approved. Back in the day, I used to have no issues with the fee waiver getting, or the fee getting waived. But nowadays, they are kind of, cracking down on that a little bit more. They want a lot of proof on that. I always tell clients, look, if you can afford it, or if you can save the money to pay for it, just pay for it so that you don't waste time with this and just get it filed.
So that's the U visa, right? And not for everybody, but some people will qualify. It's probably something that a legal consumer couldn't figure out on their own, though. Would you recommend that they try to have a consultation with an immigration attorney to see if they qualify?
I would say so.
Wouldn't it help?
I would say so, because I've had, I've met with many prospects, and some of them have come in, and for instance, I've had someone come in and maybe they were hit by a drunk driver, but unfortunately that's not on the list. So they're very specific, and then every state has certain titles of what they call their specific crime. And so now, you have to kind of match that crime along with how the federal government sees it. So it's a little bit more complicated than just being a victim of a crime and then qualifying. You do want to make sure that you are, looking at everything and making sure that it kind of fits within that window of what a U visa is.
So if you're a legal consumer and you have questions about the U visa, Vi and her firm would be a great place to start with your questions. And you can be found multiple different ways, including your website, austinimmigrationattorney.com.
That's right.
Vi can be found basically Facebook, social media, tons of directories, easy to locate. And does have consultations that she can offer. If you have any further questions, then just reach out, and thank you for listening today. This podcast has been prepared for general information purposes only and is not legal advice. This information is not intended to create, and receipt of it does not constitute an attorney-client relationship.